their life stories in order to inspire others with their messages.
Speaker Slam was the first kind of platform to let me share my stories.
The types of people that share their stories at Speaker Slam are people who have gone through adversity. They have gone through life's challenges and they've gotten to the other side.
If you have a message that people might want to hear, this is the opportunity for you.
No doubt, baby. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We got a beautiful crowd. Some of us watching from Facebook.
You know what I loved the most was when we were listening to The Greatest Showman, so many people were smiling. That was exciting. I've watched that 100 times. I still get excited every time I see it. Okay, so we are here. This is exciting. I love the energy. I love that we already have a good group of people in here. I always love to just take like 2 or 3 minutes to let people share as people are coming in. And I love the early birds should be rewarded. So all I want you to tell me is, let's go with the next exciting event you're going to attend. Okay, let's go to, some of you like have no exciting, okay, I'm going to go to Teresa because I know she's got something to say.
My next exciting event? Yes, that would be next Friday with Ladies Who Dine for International Women's Day, and you're speaking at it.
Okay, yes, see, we're going to really rock that, Teresa. We're going to have an amazing time. Okay, let's go to Jen Abatello.
Yes, I should unmute first. I actually don't remember what it's called, but it's a fellow colleague of mine she's doing a live podcast recording and has invited a bunch of people to attend that and women in business. So I'm going to that in 2 weeks.
Okay, amazing. Kate Mosher.
The next exciting event I'm attending is a friend's 50th birthday party this weekend, and I have been asked to bring my karaoke machines. So I'm excited about that.
I love that already. You're going to be hit at the party. One thing I want to say right now, if you are in my community, you know how I operate. If you're new, you'll know that I go really quickly and I love to call on people. And I know that sometimes that can be daunting, but I promise you that's where the growth is. And you know, you're here, you want to be speakers. So if your camera's on, I'm going to call on you. And even if it's not Andrea, even if it's off, I'm still going to call on you maybe. So that's going to keep you on the edge of your seat. And we are going to jump in right now. Okay, so welcome to our Launch Your Speaking Journey session. You've met me and my dear friend, my dear partner, Dan. So I want to start with, are you in the right place? Now, some of you are here because you're really passionate about speaking or you want to compete at Speaker Slam. Some of you, I've just said, please come, and you maybe don't even know why you're here. So we're going to find out right now. So A, you feel like you have a powerful message inside of you and you want to share it so that you can make an impact and inspire others. Or B, you feel called to speak and you feel a desire to be on the stage. C, you love the thrill of competition and you can't wait to win Speaker Slam. D, you are a thriving entrepreneur and you want to use speaking to build your brand, attract clients, and even get paid to share your insights. Or E, you're an expert, perhaps a professional, and you'd like to step fully into paid speaking to leverage your knowledge. So what I want you to do right now is just in the chat, if you can just write the letters. If it's just one, put it, but if there's a couple, I'd love for you to just share with me. I'd love to know where people are at. Okay, I'm getting C and D. Okay, let's see who that was. Emboldened Adventures. I need a name to go with that, but I love that. Tyler is all in for all of it. I love that. Okay, good. A lot of A's, that you have a powerful message. And I feel sometimes people are just called to share. They are called to speak. A lot of times we've gone through things in our lives and we want to feel like they're not for nothing, that there's a purpose to our pain, to our experiences, and we want to inspire others with those stories. Okay, good. We have a good mix of people here. Perfect. Okay, we're going to move on. Okay, so I love to do introductions. Now, normally, let me just stop this to look into your beautiful eyes. Normally, I'm very self-indulgent. I will just take like a half hour, 40 minutes and let everybody go. But I want to honor people's time and I want to try to do this in an hour. So I'm going to start some breakout groups. Okay. So first of all, I'm just going to share what you're going to be answering. And then, so you're going to answer, where are you from? How did you find out about Speaker Slam? And your number one goal for 2024. Now, before we go into breakout rooms, I'd love to ask 2 people live. Okay, so let's just nail this. Let's go to Chrissy. Chrissy, can you answer these questions? Where are you from? How did you find out about Speaker Slam? And what's your number one goal for 2024?
I found out about speakers, I think it was from an email or Instagram or something like that. What was the second question?
The second question was, I believe, where are you from? And then
London,
finally, what's your
Ontario.
number one- Oh, you're from Ontario. Okay.
London, Ontario.
Okay, nice. And your number one goal?
To get up on stage.
Chrissy, I love you and you're in the right place. Okay, that's awesome. Let's go to Susanna.
Hi, everyone. I'm Susanna, and I'm from Wilmington, Delaware. And my number one goal is to get up on stage and share my message to impact as many people in a positive way as I can.
Okay, I love that. That's amazing. Okay, so I'm going to put you in groups, 4 or 5 people. We're literally going to take 3 minutes. So you've got like 20 to 30 seconds to kind of whip through this. Okay, and then we'll be right back. Dan, do you want to write in the chat once we start what the questions are in case people forget?
Hi, Dan. I didn't notice you there.
Hi, I will be chatting with you soon.
Hi, Darren. I'm putting you into a room right now. We're just doing introductions. So I'm going to put you into room 4.
Because the people in the Facebook Live are just watching us. I'm gonna play a video so they have some level of entertainment before
Okay.
people get back. Okay. From Speaker Slam to the face of the Canadian mental health movement, meet Mike Shorman, a beacon of resilience and hope. In 2018, Mike faced a life-altering diagnosis of Ramsay-Hunt syndrome, grappling with paralysis, vertigo, loss of vision and hearing. It was a battle that tested his spirit to its core. But Mike chose to rise, to share his story on the Speaker Slam stage, a courageous step that ignited a series of monumental successes. In 2019, embodying the theme of courage, Mike won Speaker Slam, setting the stage for a journey of incredible milestones. His Speaker Slam speech resonated globally, amassing 9.8 million views across social media platforms. Best-selling author, Mike penned Crash and Rise, Diaries of the Unbalanced Paddleboarder, sharing his inspiring journey with readers all around the world. In 2019, he was honored with the International Stand-Up Paddleboard Man of the Year Award. He became a media darling. Mike's story has been featured in over 100 national and international media outlets, including People Magazine, Business Insider, and the Chicago Tribune. He's a guest contributor, columnist for the Toronto Sun and the National Post on accessibility and mental health issues. He's had a historic achievement. Mike became the first athlete with disabilities to cross all 5 Great Lakes, spearheading the largest individual-led mental health awareness and fundraising campaign in Canadian history. His remarkable journey is captured in a feature-length documentary spotlighting the Canadian mental health crisis through his personal story. It's called When Hope Breaks Through. He's had multiple speaking engagements for clients such as the Canadian Armed Forces, the Government of Canada, Mazda, and Tim Hortons. He's received national acknowledgement. His efforts have been recognized by the Legislative Assembly of Ontario, the House of Commons, and the Prime Minister, showcasing his substantial impact on the community.
Speaker Slam has been an amazing opportunity. It's welcomed me into this community of friends, other speakers who are working together to create change, make a difference. By coming and sharing my story on this amazing platform, it's given my voice bigger meaning. Dan Shake, Rena Rovinelli, you've created something really special here, really beautiful, and congratulations on all of your success.
We are immensely proud of Mike, witnessing his trailblazing journey in mental health advocacy. Is this your time? Your path to becoming a change maker can begin with Speaker Slam. We stand ready to facilitate your speaking journey. Are you ready to go to the next level? Apply to compete on our stage today at speakerslam.org/apply.
Dan, I love the production value. You are concerned with the Facebook group as well as the room. I love that. I feel like we're in good hands.
The Facebook people need the love too. All
Did
6 of them.
Did everybody get a chance to speak, or was I too fast? Is that, how do I pronounce your name? Is it Jean-Luca? You didn't get a chance to share?
No, all good. I said.
Oh, good. Okay, awesome. Wow. See, we nailed this. Okay, I love that. We're going to jump right in now. So welcome to Speaker Slam. We like to think that people can go from our stage to the spotlight. And I really want to start with what is Speaker Slam. So I think of it in terms of 2 different paths. It's both an incredibly unique experience and it is a powerful professional tool. So for anyone who hasn't been, it's an opportunity to take center stage in front of 200 to 300 people to share a meaningful personal story, 5 minutes long, in front of 4 phenomenal industry leaders for a chance to win cash and prizes valued at over $10,000 and an opportunity to advance to the Grand Slam where everything doubles or even triples. We're talking about the audience size, the prizes, the impact, the momentum. It is an incredible, life-changing experience for many people. Now, it's also a launch. It's a powerful launch pad that can bring new energy to your personal brand that can result in life-changing opportunities such as securing paid speaking engagements, giving TED Talks, publishing books, receiving media coverage, being featured in documentaries, going viral, leading movements, creating events, and much, much more. Okay, so it's not just a speaking event, and there's lots of different kinds of storytelling events, but it can be the launch of your entire life. So I want you to put in the chat for me, if you were to be involved with us, would you be more interested in the experience or the launch or both? Just write it out. You can even just say E or L or both. Okay, I'm seeing both. Yes. Okay, and that's a good thing. That's a great thing. And let's start our journey here today. Dan and I have been in business together for 8 years. We have had 1,000 speakers on our stages, live and virtual. And we've had countless success stories. And so today we want to share our success formula with you. Okay, it is super simple. And there's a really important reason why I wanted to share this tonight. And I'm just going to go into the formula right here. We like to think of it as a campaign. Okay, when you start with us, it's really a campaign for you. We're talking about getting set up for success, launching, and leveraging. It's that simple. Now, I want you to think of the competition as the launch. And the reason we've kind of come up with this formula now is that time and time again, and we've been watching this over the years, people come in for the competition, and that's their launch. What is the difference between the people that kind of come on our stage and have a fun time or a cathartic time or an emotional time or a great time and then nothing else happens, and the people that have life-changing, phenomenal success, mind-blowing, skyrocketing success where their entire lives change? Well, the difference is two things. It's that they were properly set up beforehand, or if after the competition they quickly got set up, and if they were powerful at leveraging. And the most successful people who come in leverage the competition. Now, whenever you do any kind of experience like this and you're investing money, you want to have a ROI. You know, it's great to, you can go on a vacation, you can spend money, you can do things, you can have fun, but you actually want to be able to leverage this to maybe get paid speaking or get more clients and really make it worth it. And so we created this presentation to show people how they can connect with us in Speaker Slam journey and really make the most of their opportunity. Okay, so we're going to start with getting set up for success and what that means. So the first thing I want to do, and I love to do interactive things, and if you're in my programs, you know how I am. We're just going to take a minute here. I just want you to close your eyes, and I want you to imagine beyond Speaker Slam, what is your ideal audience? Okay, you step out into a beautiful theater. It could be, you could actually be in a conference center, you could be in a workshop room, you could be in a smoky bar, you could be in a giant corporate conference, but you look out into the audience and I want you to tell me who is sitting there. Is it women? Is it men? Is it entrepreneurs? Is it corporate people? Is it moms? I want you to tell me, and we're just going to take a minute and then I want to hear from a couple people. Now, for some of you, you may have not even thought that far. That might even not even be on the vision board, but I want you to give yourself permission to imagine, if you were able to inspire with your voice, who would be in that audience. So let me start with Bacchus.
In the audience, I would say I would definitely have my entire family there. My girlfriend as well. And I would like a bunch of my friends to listen to me. A couple professionals who maybe I could network with after if they like my presentation. I feel like that'd be great. And just people who love to hear a presentation and who would love to be inspired by me.
This is the most endearing answer I've ever seen in my life. Okay. Okay, that is amazing. Okay, I want that for you. Andrea.
I don't think I can top that, but I would go with, I'm now going to add my entire family to the room. And business owners and leaders, primarily like kind of maybe tipped in the women category, with powerful messages who are up for doing the work. So for me, that means people that are like speakers, podcasters, authors, like really driven from the inside who want to get their message out. Those are the people I love to communicate with and inspire. People like you, Rena.
Perfect. I love that. One more. Let's go to Tyler.
So my ideal audience would be a room full of like life coaches, because I do business coaching for other coaches who need support setting up their brand and really mastering their message and their marketing.
Okay, perfect. Susanna waved. Are you going to be in the audience, Susanna?
I'm a life coach. I can be in the audience.
Okay, good. I love that. Okay, great. So understanding that audience is the first step to understanding your brand, because when you can see who you want to serve, you can move into the right lane of what kind of content you want to create and what kind of messages you want to share. The next fun activity I love to work on is really thinking about your message. So there's certain speakers, you can think about them, you automatically can relate them to their message. Brene Brown talks about a call to courage. She talks about vulnerability. Simon Sinek talks about finding your why. If you think about him, that's what you think about. We're all Tony Robbins fans. He's been unleashing his power for like 30 years, right? We know what these people talk about. They have a very clear message. So the activity I want you to do right now is I want you to imagine that you're standing in front of that dream audience you just described. And I want you to pick 2 or 3 speakers that are on the bill with you. They can be big names, they can be small, they can be people in your community. It can be Rena there with you on stage. It could be someone huge like Oprah, or you choose who's going to be on the bill with you when you speak. Okay, I'll just give you 1 minute for that. Thirty more seconds. That's my wingman. Okay, and we're back. Okay, let's go to Melissa Herrera.
Oh, I'm gonna be on right after Joe Dispenza. I'll be his follow-up.
Okay, I like that. Boz.
They're not necessarily speakers, but I would probably love to be on stage with Lizzo, Lizzie Jeff, and Tony Jones.
Yeah, I love it. It's going to be an exciting event. Okay, great. Victor, what do you think?
Well, for me, wanting to be a motivational speaker, I would love to share the stage with my favorite speaker, actually, Les Brown.
Love Les Brown. Okay, good. Okay, so now this is going to be an easier exercise for you now that you can envision that person. So I want you to think of the person or one of the people you just suggested. And I want you to think that that person has just called you. Okay, Victor, Les Brown has just called you and he has a 30-minute spot on his stage. Okay, and Boz, Lizzo has just called you. She's going on tour. She has a 30-minute spot on her stage. I want you to tell me quickly, what is the message you're going to share on that stage? You don't need a title. You don't need a whole story or speech. What is the message? And I'm going to give you a good 2 minutes to think on this message. Okay. Quick question. Dan and I always have this debate going back and forth. Do you like music in between, or is it distracting?
I think it's fun.
It's so funny because I'm hearing Kirsty. See, I'm a person, I don't like music. I can't think. I can't. And then some people like it. It's okay. Okay, we will not please all of you today, so that I can guarantee. Okay, so I want to hear from 2 or 3 people. Let's go to Luluwa.
Oh, wow. All right. Way to put me on the spot. I would say God can only show up in your life when you show up in your highest virtue.
Okay, nice, powerful. Jessica West.
Yeah, I would say the only limitations is the one that we accept in our mind.
Okay, beautiful. Vera.
You are enough, and I'm here to validate you.
Okay, that's nice. One more. Let's go to Susan.
Approach life through a lens of experimentation to find your growth.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so we're going to move on. So you can kind of start to see, a lot of times people think, I don't know what I want to talk about, but given the high pressure that, Les Brown is calling you and you have to get back in 30 minutes, you can come up with something pretty quick. And as we really distill it down, we tend to share the messages that are our guiding messages, right? Luluwa talked about faith, and Susan talked about taking risks and experimenting. And these are kind of the values that we live by. Okay, so next, in terms of getting set up for success, and this is a big one, and it's one of the things that I see happens often where people come through the competition, and then all of a sudden Dan is on them and he's trying to help, he's getting them press, and the press is coming and they're starting to back check people. And we're in a panic because everything's a mess and they're not set up properly. And so that we wanted to really Dan's going to share a little bit right now, some important tips about setting up a digital profile. Dan.
What happens if someone was to Google your name? A lot of times that's what reporters to journalists to meeting professionals are doing. They want to find out who you are. And the common mistakes that I see is people don't know their messaging, and it's not showing up. They might know it in here, but they don't know it on their social platforms. They're not showing it. And so what I've learned is you have to have presence online on all platforms and then show that messaging. So that means your titles, your help statement, your credibility driven bio, all of those things need to be at the forefront of who you are. So people can believe and see that you are the expert and the person that is supposed to be speaking on this topic. And the social media presence, the reason I say that is the quickest way to get your name ranking on Google. Because if someone Googles you, the platforms that show up the most are Twitter, it's something like TikTok, your Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. YouTube is the biggest search platform just overall. And thus, if you don't have presence on it, you're missing out on a huge opportunity to show people your messaging and your personal brand. And then finally, it's all about trust. So the whole reason why you want to show up on Google is because you want to build the trust that you are someone who has clarity in their message, that you are an expert. Ultimately, people want to work with experts. And if you're able to show them what you can do, and that is through social proof. And social proof can sometimes look like having a video of you speaking. It can look like photos of you on stage. It can look like just professional headshots. Those things add a lot of value. Then you throw in your credentials. It just makes magic happen.
Okay, perfect. I wanted to share a couple tips as well. You must be active on social media. Some people don't like it. They're like, oh, I don't really choose to go on social media. You will not build momentum. You will not get booked. You will not be hired to speak. You must be active on social media. People will search you. Even for Dan and I will tell you right now, when people come to Speakers Slam to compete, we will check their social media. If they don't have an active social media, and we're not talking about 100,000 followers, but if they don't have a decent active presence, we do not work with them because we feel that A, they're out of touch with technology, B, they will not be sharing the energy and building momentum online for our brand, and C, we think of them that they're not current. that they don't have some of the skills that other people might have that they might need, that we might need them just to have in terms of submitting certain documents and certain handling some of our certain processes and systems. And that's the perception that you're putting out there if you're not on social media. You must be on LinkedIn. And a lot of people are resistant to this because it's uncomfortable there. Unless that's your jam and you're a corporate person and that's where you are always hang out, it's uncomfortable for other people. That I'm a Facebook girl, Dan is an Instagram guy, so I get it, but you must be on LinkedIn. You must display your wins. Some people are very humble. Not me. You see, I get a nomination. It's up like in the morning on every platform. You know, I win awards, I go to events, I do things, I share it, share it, share it. You have to display your wins, because when people see that, people want to work with winners, right? People want to hire winners. People want to promote winners. And that's what you need to be doing, is not being shy. You need to promote your wins. So you should build community. And I think that's really important, because there's going to be opportunities for you to speak, and you're going to want to have your friends and your people in the audience. And if you're not giving back and building community and supporting other people, you're not going to have people come out and support you. You might want to run a program or a course, right? And if you don't have any community, you're not going to have it. And so many people that we deal with, they have these great ideas. They want to do a course, a retreat. They want to launch things. Well, if you have no community, who's coming? So you really should be building a community. You should build relationships. Now, gone are the days of having like 100,000 followers or 1 million followers, and people are buying followers. Forget about that. Build a strong, solid network. Find the people that can actually help you. For me, I connect with other people that run speaker bureaus, speaker agents. I find other people that are in the TEDx world, that are in the branding world, that are in the speaking world, and they become my inner network. They send me clients, I send them clients. We can collaborate on things. I'm up leveling, I'm playing in that field. And it's really important that you build the proper relationships with people that can kind of help you get forward. And you should post consistently. Now, I say should, because if you're on LinkedIn and you have a really professional profile and you post once a week, I think that that's still sufficient. You still have a respectable profile if someone searches you, right? You don't have to be up there every day, 5-10 times a day, but posting to show that you are active and you have some life. Like if somebody comes on your page and your last post was like January 2020, it's not a good look. So you need to post fairly consistently. Okay, so now we're going to give you a bonus tip, and I'm going to turn this back to Dan.
So the bonus tip is, before doing any sort of campaign and launching, know your media awareness days. And this is where the magic happens. This is actually the secret sauce. I've been getting lots of press opportunities for our speakers, and there's 2 reasons that is happening. It's media awareness days. So for example, right now in this month alone, we're working with a speaker, Kalissa Ngazi. It's Black History Month. This is the time to celebrate Black stories. And so she not only did she just win an award, she came second at our Speaker Slam in January. So that momentum of coming second place and then leading right into Black History Month, it just worked. And her speech was around self-worth for little Black girls. And so it just played perfectly with what she was doing. Secondly, another example I'm going to give is it's Rare Disease Month. And thus, it's a great time to share stories around rare diseases. So another speaker I'm working with, who was our second Inspirational Speaker of the Year, we've been doing an entire campaign. She's been featured in her local media, from Newmarket Today to Niagara-on-the-Lake to now being on breakfast television just in the next couple of days. And that is happening because we built up social proof early, and then we created a campaign where I pitched her for these days, and thus she becomes an expert because she already has a story, now just talking about it, and she did something notable. So if you find your media awareness days, you can set yourself up for success and build momentum.
So my question is, and I'm sure everybody has this question, do you have to have like huge adversities to have media awareness days? Or how would you even find your media awareness days?
There are plenty of days that exist. You just have to align your expertise. So you need to write down your bio. What are the unique things that stand out? And then just go on to Google and type in like let's say you're a speaking expert, speaking awareness days, and then you just put that into Google and it'll show you a list of things that you can look for. If you're a mental health person, you can type in mental health awareness days. It's just figuring out where your expertise and whether you have that adversity story or not. How can you lean into what you're doing to allow people to find and discover you?
And I think also there are a lot of days like women's days, men's days, empowerment days. There's the LGBTQ day. Like there really are days for everyone, right? So, and I know often when I come to you with someone who wants to compete, you will be looking at the months coming up ahead. So I guess my last question before we move on is, how far ahead of the awareness month should people be competing? Should they compete in the month or before?
At least it really depends. So if you're trying to get on morning TV, you need to be pitching at least 2 months before. So it is ideal to compete 1 month before. But if you're trying to get into local news, then that can be turned into a news story as well. So it doesn't matter as much. It just depends on what the campaign and the plan is.
Okay, great. Okay, so we could talk about this for hours, but I just wanted to throw this in because I know right now Dan has got someone on the news or on TV every single day almost. Every time I turn around, there's somebody else getting press. And I know that that's important for people because it's a great credibility marker. And so we wanted to just share a few tips with that. Okay, so next we're moving on to the special sauce bio. And I really think this plays in play with this because when you're talking about your awareness days, you're really looking at your special sauce. And I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this, but your special sauce bio is really just your credentials, all the typical credentials that people might have, right? Accreditations or degrees. Also your awards and accolades. Nominations are just as valuable as actual wins. Any press, any recognition. Are you a best-selling author? Do you have impressive testimonials? Anything that you have. And finally, achievements. Like, have you written a book? Do you run your own podcast? Have you organized a large event? Have you raised money for charity? You're really putting all of these into the machine and kind of trying to just pull something out that sounds impressive. Here's a couple things that I love to share as some top secret ingredients. Of course, overcoming adversity is always huge. And sometimes what you may not even think of as adversity is adversity. So it's really leaning into that. The it factor. Now, sometimes people just have the it factor. We've had speakers on our stage, they've had a mohawk and tattoos, or they're super cool, or they're very charismatic, or they're very flamboyant in how they dress. And the thing about having the it factor is some of us are kind of introverted or very muted. You can put a boa on or funky glasses or dye your hair pink. Like, you can stand out if that's a lane that you want to explore. The massive movement is important, and it's something that you can reverse engineer, right? Gina had the Too Much Woman movement. Mike Shorman has had several movements for Jack.org, Paddles Up, just creating a following, and then that becomes newsworthy. And I put Mike for the innovator because Mike has done, every time you talk to him, he's done something new. He's paddled across the 5 Great Lakes with, as a first person with disability. He did have a campaign where people all around the world would hold their paddles above their head. He's just constantly innovating, and that is someone who is newsworthy. Okay, a couple quick secrets about the secret ingredient. The number one secret is this: if you have no other ingredients, no credentials, no awards, no accomplishments, if your secret ingredient is powerful enough, you can be wildly successful. And some people start getting imposter syndrome because they're like, oh, I don't have a master's, or, oh, I haven't written a book. And they start getting down on themselves. Okay, you don't need that. Number two, even if you don't yet have it, you can reverse engineer it. In fact, I'm a huge fan of reverse engineering. I do that myself quite frequently. If you actually reverse engineer it, you can be strategic about what you're creating. So finally, I'm going to talk about starting with the end in mind. And what I want you to do right now, we're just going to take a couple minutes. I want you to fantasize about the absolute coolest thing you could create or accomplish. Now, to give you an example, when Dan and I started Speaker Slam 8 years ago, we had no idea it was going to be mind-blowingly successful. And we're at a point now where we can get paid to speak. We get opportunities. We have a lot of doors open for us because we're the creators of something so cool. Now, I want you to think, can you run a retreat? Can you create a charity event? is there some sort of incubator? When you talk about all these kinds of tech challenge, hack fest, like, is there something that you could create that would help girls, that would help children, that would help? Is there something you could do that would be super cool in your lane that you could align with? So I'm going to give you like 3 minutes to kind of brainstorm and think outside the box. By the way, when I say 3 minutes, I always mean 2. While you might not always have time to integrate here, I think it's important that we go through the process so that when you're on your own, you have time to kind of think about things. So is there anybody here that would want to share? Is it Fiona? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, you can call me Fee. My full name is Fiona. I had a couple key points, but I think the main thing that I really want to focus on is really helping communities feel more connected by creating a third space, and also to help people find the roots of their issues and problems and solving that, as opposed to just treating the symptoms.
Okay, good. And you can imagine right now, post-pandemic, how important human connection is, and how if you did something really cool, it could be something you could be known for and get press for. Okay, awesome. Anybody else? Embolden Adventures, what is your actual name?
My name is Sarah Rapasano. Hi, everyone.
Sarah. Okay, Sarah.
So my story that I'd love to impassion into others is the power of transformational travel, to travel the world and transform yourself in that process. I left Wall Street and a 20-year career, surrender to the universe, and that power of travel has really helped me transform. So I'd love to share that with others around the world.
Okay, I love that. So like by bringing people on like a retreat in the world, or in what capacity?
Well, I would have designed the trips, and we would work with various people around the world, indigenous wisdom keepers and other sort of adventure travel in the spiritual and the megalithic and mystic.
Okay, good. I love that. Okay, is there one last person that wants to share before we, Susanna?
My real powerful story is to transform people who went through abuse, mostly as primarily as children, but any kind of abuse, and to show them and help them understand that through forgiveness, you can change your life. Through changing the way you think about what happened to you, you can transform your life into that happiness and peaceful life that you're searching for, that you're running on the hamster wheel for. And you can break those chains and just see how powerful living a peaceful and happy life by forgiving and letting it go can be.
So I love it. And here's what I want you to do. So I want you to imagine someone might say, oh, I'm a forgiveness coach and I want to share forgiveness. Now you twist it and say, I'm going to run Forgiveness Fest, or I'm going to run a forgiveness marathon, and I'm going to get on TV and I'm going to have people on here. I'm going to run a podcast for like 48 hours and people are going to share their forgiveness and call each other. We're going to imagine how impactful that could be, right? So if we start thinking outside the box in unique ways, and all of a sudden we're really developing our special sauce.
I really like to work with gratitude with a Y, and forgiveness through gratitude with the why, with knowing why you're grateful for something and being able to find the good in everything that has happened to you, no matter how horrific it may have been.
Beautiful. Okay, beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. And these are all great causes. Okay, so next I want to talk about a special sauce bio. This is a traditional way that people write their bio. They use a lot of flowery words. Rena is passionate about providing a platform to speakers. She's a heart-centered leader, uses her voice to make impact, her vision to create possibility. So this is how people usually will write their bio. What I want you to start thinking about is the credibility markers. I want you to go in when you have your bio, and I want you to not be humble, and I want you to pull things out. And I want you to just put, I'm an award winner, maybe you're a best-selling author, I've created events, I've done this, I've got a vibrability, I'm an instructor, all the things. Now, when you're applying for things and you want to get an award, I want you to imagine that people don't have patience, right? They're not going to read all your flowery language about, you know, how heart-centered and kind. They want to just see, are you worthy of getting an award to? They want to see, they're going to have like 3 or 4 people that are applying to speak. Who's the person that, oh, this person's wow, like this person's got all this credibility. So it's getting to a point where you're able to show your successes in a powerful way. Okay, so just to recap, you're establishing a personal brand by really getting clarity on that message and how you want to make impact in the world. You're creating a digital profile for winning the game of first impressions. You're understanding your media awareness days. You start crafting your special sauce bio, begin with the end in mind. If you don't have a ton of stuff, don't worry, just start adding. And one of my tips is, do you know how easy it is to get into leadership roles? You join Toastmasters, they're going to be begging you to go on the board of directors, right? Get on the board of directors, go to charities, volunteer, get on the board of directors. All of a sudden, you are on the board of directors of all these companies. Publish a book, make an ebook, make it a best-selling ebook. All of a sudden, you're like a best-selling published author on the board of directors, and you thought you've done nothing, right? You're the creator of the Forgiveness Fest 48-hour marathon, plus all of a sudden you start to sound really impressive. So you have to kind of challenge yourself to think outside the box and to really create something powerful. Finally, build momentum. That is the number one thing that we talk about, and so important for you to kind of create this energy around you. Okay, so now I want to go into the launch, and launch is about Speaker Slam. I want you to think of Speaker Slam, again, it's an event, but I want you to think of it as a launch. And I wanted to share for any of you who are wanting to compete, we have some people here that are signed up to compete. I just really wanted to share how we've created this as a brand building experience. So first of all, you'll be working with a coach. We're doing a branding and message deep dive with me to get clear on your message, your story, your brand. How can you be the most powerful that you can possibly be? Then you're working with an award-winning Speaker Slam coach. These 3 people are phenomenal. Not only have they been award winners at Speaker Slam, they have all been in our program for years and trained with us. They're all now paid speakers, and they all have phenomenal success in their own businesses. Then you're going to work with them on your signature story, thinking about something that you're emotionally connected to, that is relatable and universal, that has depth and details and context, and represents your brand well, okay, and is inspiring. So what I want you to think about here is there's lots of stories that we can share on the stage, and people often will just go to their biggest adversity story, but I want to challenge people that there are other stories that maybe might show them, you know, for example, you can be in Australia and a kangaroo beats you up in the ditch and leaves you for dead, and that's your biggest adversity story. But maybe that is not the story you want to share as a forgiveness coach, right? Maybe it's a time in your life where you showed forgiveness and your life changed. Thinking about your brand and really bringing it in when you're sharing your story. The other thing about adversity Dan and I, we really want to encourage people to bring their charisma, their energy to the stage, to be entertaining. We have a new criteria on our scorecard for entertaining. So people come in, they're charismatic, they're humorous, they have props, they're engaging. And a lot of times people want to maybe tell that adversity pain story on stage to heal, but it's not always the right place to do it. Okay, so I want you to really consider the story that you're sharing and make sure that it's the right one. Now, again, the flip side of that is sometimes the adversity story is so super inspiring and powerful, and you want to share it and it needs to be heard. And then in that case, of course, we support that. So the next thing, you take the stage. Okay, so you've got your speech. Now you get on our beautiful stages. So we are normally in Lula Lounge. You can see and catch you up here in the top right-hand corner, beautiful stage. We've been at Paradise, we've been at Glen Gold. We always have beautiful stages because we really care about the quality of the video. You get beautiful photos on stage. I cannot tell you how important it is when you're creating things in the future, like your website, your one sheet, proposals, how invaluable. Everybody else has like a little selfie in the corner, or you go spend a lot of money to work with a professional photographer, but here you get these gorgeous pictures. Like I keep looking at Kay's pictures up here on the left. So beautiful. And there's nothing that says professional than seeing a speaker on stage with a microphone. Next, you get a professional video. Just want to make sure that I'm going to share my sound here. You get a professional video. I'm only going to share literally 20 seconds of this.
They called me Shoreman the board man. I'm a paddle coach with Paddle Canada. I teach stand-up paddle boarding in front of the Toronto skyline. I taught beginners on the water, often nervous at first. A lot of I don't think I cans, a lot of I'm not sures.
From the very beginning of time, Dan's whole priority was the video. I used to say, we do not need 4 cameras, but he's always got people running around with a gimbal. There's like so many cameras in there, there's not even place for people, right? But he's always felt that the importance was having a high quality video, stage footage. There's people behind you getting the audience. There's, it just looks impressive and powerful. 4 angles. It's a powerful tool. Now, for some of you, you're going to get to a point where you're professional speakers and you're going to need a speaker reel, but there are many speakers who started with one good video. So we made sure that these videos are gorgeous. If you win, if you place, you'll get an award-winning medal in the corner. They look really great. Next, we have this elite branding photo shoot, and we use the space at our venue upstairs. It overlooks, you can see how gorgeous these photos are. We always encourage people to, in addition to being guided by our team, to come up with their own poses. Dan and I often come up with some of our signature moves where we're pointing up or pointing down, or maybe you want pictures for your website. This is a great opportunity to do that, and you see how beautiful they look. So also part of that elite branding is we create a video interview upstairs, and we ask you some questions that we've predetermined. You and I, we work together, and oh, we look adorable here. And then we take that footage and we make video reels. Let me see if I can play that one more time. We make these video reels that you can use on Instagram, 6 reels. And in addition to that, you get all of the footage. So at times when you're creating a speaker reel, you need clips. So you've got you competing on stage. I always encourage people to bring a second outfit for this video shoot upstairs. So now you have 2 different looks on camera. You've got some different sound bites that you've given that you can put into different places. It's all the footage that you need. And you'll start to see that this is the difference between someone who looks super professional and someone that looks novice, is just having high quality assets. What we've decided to do is use our events at Lula Lounge as an opportunity to be efficient and utilize our photographer, our videographer, our space, and get you everything that you need in one day. Okay, one quick thing. I want to show the power of leveraging some of these resources, and I'm going to show this very short video.
Meet Kristen Light, from Speaker Slam to mental health speaker. Before Speaker Slam, she was a successful... Meet Kristen Light, from Speaker Slam to mental health speaker. Before Speaker Slam, she was a successful entrepreneur, co-owning unique event spaces and a vintage dance studio in Toronto. Kristen Light's life took an unexpected turn when she lost all of her business due to the pandemic. In the early 2010s, Kristen was diagnosed with major depressive disorder and generalized anxiety, but kept it hidden behind a glamorous exterior. After being hospitalized for 8 weeks in 2017, she decided to share her story with the world and applied to Speaker Slam's Body Beautiful competition in March 2020, where she made it to the finals. Since competing at Speaker Slam, Kristen has continued to inspire others as a mental health speaker. She's a published author with our Yellow Brick Road anthology. She's been on loads of podcast interviews, a regular on webinar panels as a guest, and on a variety of print media features. She's been a panel expert on event marketing at the Restaurants of Canada trade show. She's been a paid keynote speaker at a national summit on episodic disabilities for Realize Canada. She's been a paid presenter for corporate webinars on mental health and neurodiversity, most recently for the Ontario Teachers Pension Plan. Kristen's journey is a testament to the power of speaking up and sharing your story to make a positive impact on others. Apply to compete on the Speaker Slam stage today and take your first step towards making a positive impact on the world. Head on over to speakerslam.org/apply. See you there.
So what I love about that, we have hundreds of these success stories, by the way, so I won't be showing them all to you. But what I love about it is you can see how she was able to use her stage videos in her speaker reel, and how she's able to use all her pictures on her website and on her speaker proposals. And she looks so polished and professional. She's created a great lane for herself. She's out there getting paid to speak and building a great career. So I love that video so much. Okay.
There.
So, a summary: creating a powerful speech with Speaker Slam coaching that you can be proud of, professional stage photos that you can definitely utilize in the future, a multi-angle professional stage video, an elite branding photo shoot for those kind of cool headshots, and an elite branding video shoot with 6 edited reels and footage. So this is what we consider the launch for speakers when they come on this one day and they get all of these assets. Okay, so we're moving on to the last component, leverage. Now this is the big one, okay? This is where you can just compete and then walk away and nothing really comes of it, or you can actually take your speaking and your life to the next level. And we're gonna show you how right now. Okay, so first we start with a brand launch. Now that is something that Dan and I do with our speakers. We help them create a lane. Okay, so here's Karen. She helps women over 50 feel great, lose weight, and live their best life. So it's her colors, her pictures are on point. This is her brand that she's gonna kind of lean into. Samantha Plavins, she helps overachieving career women recharge their joy and inspiration and find meaning through hiking adventures. So you see 2 totally different kinds of feels, but you can see that they each have their own brand, right? They have their own look, they have their own energy, and they're both very polished and professional. The next thing is creating a professional talk. Every speaker should have a professional talk. What happens sometimes is people win at Speaker Slam and then people start reaching out for them to come and speak, and they don't actually know what to do for that hour. They think that they're just supposed to tell an hour-long version of their story, and that's absolutely not what you do. So we really help work with you. This is my own deck, my own brand, get to the front of the room. So I have a proposal, I have a framework, I have my own deck, and this is what we help our speakers create, something that's on brand in their colors with their framework, that really captures who they are, that they can be proud of, so that as they start getting requests to get paid, or as they want to get out there and start attracting clients and speaking, they actually have something that they're proud of. This was another speaker that I wanted to show we worked on her brand and her collateral. You can see her position, clarity and connection strategist for high performing teams. This is her LinkedIn banner at the top. This is her speaker profile in the middle. This is some of the posts that she's worked on to be putting up on LinkedIn. Everything looks professional, polished, on brand, right? And sometimes when you come out of the competition, you want to start doing this, but there's a lot of strategy that has to go into this, to figuring out exactly what your lane is and how you want to show up. Okay, so I showed you that special sauce bio earlier. And again, you can just see, here I am in all my glory, with my logo from my company and my powerful bio, right? Just really crafting that. That's what we work on to make sure it's really super powerful so that you have something that you can be proud of. And then finally, a speaker kit. It's very important for speakers to have a kit that shows their talks. We just worked with Calissa. This looks gorgeous. We've had other speakers that just need a one sheet. I mean, I think once you have a one sheet, you're good to go. You can have a one sheet, you can have a kit, you can have a proposal kit, but it's all the speaker marketing that gives you that polished edge. And you know, when I first started speaking, I love to look at people. When I first started speaking, I didn't know this and I wanted someone to tell me. Like I thought I'm an amazing speaker and I see some of my friends are out there speaking, but like what are they doing differently that I'm not doing? And sometimes you just don't know what's needed, right? You didn't know that you needed a proposal kit, right? You didn't know that you needed a signature talk and what that framework should look like. You didn't know maybe that you needed a video. And then you have questions like, how long am I going to talk? Is it 30 minutes? Is it 3 hours? Like, how am I going to find speaking gigs? You know, do I need a brand, or like, can I just tell them I have an inspirational story and will they pick me? Like, it's all of these nuances that you maybe don't know that we're here to help you with. Okay, so that is an important part of what we do. And then finally, the media training and pitching. And I told Dan, I'm going to talk about this, not you, because he's so humble. Like, he's just so humble. And I just really want to hit it out of the park that how difficult that is. Like, when you want to get press, you can send 1,000 pitches and nobody ever replies back. For maybe 7 years, Dan and I tried to get press. We always just thought, oh, we'll just write someone. Do you want to come and cover our event? We never had press. And then one day I looked at Dan and I said, you know, Dan was responsible for getting us every single viral partner we had, 500 million views on our speakers' videos. And he would write these pitches, just really detailed, concise pitches with all the information that they needed. We started getting our speakers picked up every day. And so I said, why don't you use that same exact skill for other things? And then he's like, I'm already on Arena. So he was pitching people for awards. You know, he's pitched me for awards. He's pitched, Calissa got the amazing award because of him. He pitches publicity all the time, and it's an art. And so when you work with him, he does a lot of different things. He helps you, he creates press releases for you. He helps you with your awareness days. He helps to write media pitches. He helps to pitch you. It's invaluable to have Dan on your team. And he's gotten at least 100 speakers or opportunities for speakers on media in the last few months. Okay, finally, momentum building. Some of you are in our program, so you can attest to how unbelievable this is. But I think momentum is the most important thing you can have as a speaker. It's the energy that's swirling around you that's attracting opportunities. We think it's the coolest membership program around. We help change makers, entrepreneurs, and experts build massive momentum while creating a unique brand. A lot of the stuff that you saw earlier where we showed you the assets of our speakers are created in this program. We have monthly classes. We have skill building sessions. We have amazing guest speakers, TEDx trainers, book publishers, PR publicists. We have all kinds of incredible people that come in and give information. We have a certification program that we have our speakers work through. And each of these levels are tasks that you're doing that are building your brand. It's incredible. And then, of course, our community is phenomenal. Even though it's a little light on men here, we have 3 now, but men are definitely welcome and encouraged, and I love the male energy. But we are an incredible community support. Whenever people have events and things, people are out to support them. So our momentum membership is something that we encourage and have our people in all the way through this whole process so that they can leverage all of the things that they're doing. Okay, this one quick thing I wanted to show, sort of part of our program. We are doing our next brand builder competition. It is open to the public as well, but it is free for our Momentum members. And we have these fabulous judges, Andrea, who's here today, Rob Gilbert, Cher Jones, Adam Rodriguez. These are all professionals in the PR world. You can win a prize package valued at up to $5K. And all you have to do is submit that positioning graphic. It's a fun that I showed you the ones with Karen and Samantha. You're just creating a fun graphic like that, and voila, you could be winning prizes, you could be pitching, you could be building momentum in your life. Okay. I'm trying to keep this very tight, so we're almost done here. I want to show one other quick video and I'm going to wrap up.
From Speaker Slam to international keynote speaker, meet Jose Peronian, the 2017 Inspirational Speaker of the Year. In the entire history of Speaker Slam, he's been the most successful at leveraging his wins and building upon them to transition into an international keynote speaker. Since taking the stage for the first time in his life and winning, Jose has gone on to be featured on Goldcast with over 3 million views with his Speaker Slam speech. He's spoken at the Archangel Summit in front of 3,000 people. He's given 5 TEDx talks in 5 cities and in both English and French. He's been featured in Forbes. He's had professional speaking engagements at the United Nations, Google, Tesla, TikTok, Meta, Pinterest, IBM, Dell, TD, Rogers, as well as educational institutions and conferences all around the world. He's been featured in an upcoming documentary, Words Left Unspoken, about his story. As you can see, our stage opens up doors towards bigger stages and opportunities. We are here for you to take you to the next level. Are you ready? Apply to compete on our stage today. Speakerslam.org.
I have to show that video because, and this is amazing. Dan and I met Jose in Toastmasters together 8 years ago. And the first time he had ever really been on stage was on our Speaker Slam stage. And I love showing that. The same with Mike Shorman. That was the first time on stage. I love showing that people, they're not professionals. People are not professionals coming in. Just passionate, heart-centered people with messages coming in, and their whole lives are just changing in such a phenomenal way. Okay, so I was going to wrap up, but I have one more activity. I have to keep you here, okay? Just love us. Just love us. It's going to be great. Again, this is the summary for this, for Leverage. Launch your brand, create your unique insights and thought leadership framework, create that signature talk or professional keynote to deliver your thought leadership, create your special sauce bio, create a speaker kit and proposal for any opportunities, get media, deal with a press release, pitch creation, media pitching, and build momentum. This is the recipe for success right here. And this is done with Dan and I. We're on your team. It's just us, the 3 of us, making magic together. Okay, so one last thing I want to do, because it's one of my favorite activities. I want you to imagine, okay, picture it. It is December 2024. And you're winning an inspirational award. It can be whatever. I want you to decide what it is. It could be the Influential Woman of the Year award. It could be the Entrepreneur of the Year. It could be the Heart-Centered Coach of the Year. I want you to choose an award, and I want you to create the bio that they're going to use to introduce you. And I want you to include everything you want to manifest for yourself this year. So even if you haven't done it yet, you can say, here comes Susanna, a 5-time best-selling author, the founder of the Forgiveness Hackfest, like whatever it is, I want you to create this amazing bio. Okay, I'm going to give you 2 or 3 minutes for that. And do not hold back. I don't like when people play small. I want you to really boldly step into attracting all these great opportunities. I'm going to give you 2 more minutes for this, and I'll stop and share in case Dan wants to play some music. If you don't like music, just mute this for a minute. Okay. I'd love to hear a couple. So Lulawa's partner, what is your name? I cannot remember, but I see your charming face.
Oh, thank you. My name is Mike.
Mike, okay, go ahead, Mike. Let's hear it.
You know what? I have to be honest, as I'm writing, I mean, I've spoken, I've done all of that, but as I'm writing, I'm actually getting all the objections that I've developed in my own head in this last little while. So, but it's helping because as I get the objections, I also get the counterpoints to the objections. So I'm not going to share, if it's okay, I won't share anything right now, but I want to say that what you've asked us to do is really helping me. So thank you.
Okay, good. Okay,
Right.
no problem.
Rita,
Yes.
thank you for inviting us.
You're welcome. I'm glad you both showed up.
Yes.
Okay, amazing. Let's go to, is it Gianluca? How do I pronounce your name?
It's Gianluca.
Gianluca. Okay,
Yep.
can you wow us?
I don't know about wowing. I put down Ontario's top 40 and under 40 in 2009, winner of construction's most influential, one of construction's industry's most influential people, 2-time author, and I added construction industry whisperer, curator, and speaker.
Okay, nice. Okay, good. Let's go to Kate.
Kate Mosier is an award-winning writer, viral podcast host, international expert on her ideal world, the possibility model. Kate brings with her over 20 years of self-development, mental health expertise, and a vibrant curiosity about what makes us all human being examples of love in each and every day. Kate asked the question, how can we let our lights shine together to ignite the world in possibilities for more love to bloom infinitely?
Oh, that is beautiful. I love it. Okay, thank you guys so much for that. The last thing I want to share with you is just what we've talked about today. I want to share with you just a short video about the experience that does it maybe more justice than my presentation.
Our Thought Leader launch experience is designed for people who are highly motivated and ready to take their lives to the next level while being fully supported by us. We're the co-founders of Speaker Slam, and we have almost a decade of experience helping people get press, paid speaking, and countless life-changing opportunities, and we are here to guide you through the process. Your journey begins with our ultimate brand builder experience, which includes the opportunity to compete on stage for a chance to win a prize package valued at over $10,000 and a chance to move on to the Grand Slam, a professionally edited multi-angle stage video, high-quality stage photos taken by our professional photographer, done-for-you marketing asset, our Speaker Success System online course, a post-competition feedback call to find out the judges' scores and feedback, our elite branding package, which includes professional headshots and 6 video reels, our competition-ready coaching package, and our media-ready coaching package. What's important to note is that if you want to break through to thought leader status, you'll need a marketable brand. The photos and videos and footage that you receive during the Ultimate Brand Builder experience will be invaluable in building out the assets you'll need. Prior to the competition, we'll take you through our enlightening brand launch process. This begins with a brand audit done by Dan. This audit evaluates your online presence to ensure it effectively communicates your unique value and expertise to event organizers, journalists, and decision makers. Dan reviews your digital footprint across your website, social media, and Google presence, identifying areas for improvement. He analyzes messaging, brand consistency across platforms, and the effectiveness of your systems and processes. Following the audit, a deep dive session with Dan provides detailed feedback and actionable strategies to enhance your online visibility and brand impact, giving you a clear direction to boost your brand's effectiveness. Next, you'll do a brand deep dive with me, Rena. First, I'll look at all of your brand assets and current speaker collateral. We will then work on establishing your position in the market and create your unique insights, which are the foundation of your thought leadership. The uniqueness and clarity of your position is essential to craft a powerful talk. Then we'll work together to create an on-brand signature talk that you're proud of. We'll create your keynote intro story, your unique framework, and formulate several calls to action that you can use depending on your audience. In addition, we'll create a professional presentation deck. This is a must-have for any thought leader. We'll work on your speaker one-sheet, your special sauce bio, and your speaker kit. Next, you'll meet with Dan to focus on your campaign launch. He'll identify your media awareness days and develop press releases and pitches that get you seen in the media. He'll identify key media outlets and platforms that align with your brand and message, ensuring your voice reaches the right audiences. Dan's expertise in public relations will be pivotal in crafting a media campaign that not only highlights your unique insights, but also positions you as an authoritative figure in your field. It's about maintaining momentum after the competition, keeping your brand and message in the public eye through consistent media engagement, finding relevant opportunities, and content creation. Finally, we want you to benefit from being a part of our Momentum membership. This momentum is essential for your success. You'll receive 6 months in our membership, which includes 2 monthly classes focused on building your brand and network and developing paid speaking skills, a speaker certification program, and free tickets to Speaker Slam so that you can stay connected to the Speaker Slam community. If you are ready to take center stage and have a life-changing experience, join us. We are invested in your success and are committed to helping you reach phenomenal heights.
Okay, wow, that was exciting, right? Okay, so I'm going to wrap this up now because I went over longer than I wanted to. What I want to do now, the last thing we want to do is we have a take inventory assessment. Dan is going to put the link in the chat. I love when people do it because even though it seems like it's a lot of questions, you are just quickly clicking through. It's going to take you 2 or 3 minutes. It takes inventory of everything you have. Like, do you have a podcast, blog, video, and it's a great starting point. Okay, so you're going to go through that. And then when you're done, there's an opportunity to sign up for a call with us if you're interested. I will let you know our next competition, Human Connection, is full. It's taking place in March. We have 3 spots left for our Freedom competition in May, and we have 3 spots left in Perseverance in July. Okay, and then we have 1 competition in September, which is the Power of Yes. So if you're feeling called to compete and you want to put it on the calendar this year and you want to do this, just be aware of those dates. So when you finish that take inventory, book a call with us. If you want to even find out about our Momentum membership, if you want to talk about your future speaker goals, if you want to compete, just book a call and we'll chat with you and we can go over all the details if you're interested. But other than that, this has been fun. Thank you guys for playing along, answering my questions when I called on you. And I know some of you are going to be competing. Tyler, I know we're going to see you at Freedom, aren't we?
I was actually just typing up a message to you, an email to you, because I'm on the fence between Freedom or Perseverance. And I really, after this session, I'm really thinking, okay, what makes more sense strategically to me and my brand? And what topic
True
makes
freedom.
the most sense to me.
Because June is not only LGBT month but also Men's Month, and together those are things that are in demand, and strategically that would be the best way to create momentum because you got double headers.
Well, thank you, Dan. This is
We've
why
been
you're the
talking-
expert in that. Yeah.
We've already been talking about you, Tyler.
Cool.
Okay.
Well, then I'll save my email. Thanks.
Okay, good. We are here. Book a call with us. Let's make magic this year. And thank you so much for playing full out. And regardless, if you are ever in the GTA, make sure you come out to an event. You will fall in love with it. Okay.
Thank you, everybody. You are seen, you are heard, and you are loved. Good night.